What is up, my star people, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about ghosts. Now, ghosts. Okay, let's get right into it. So, ghosts. When a person transitions into the non-physical, it depends on how they live their life. So if a person has lived their whole life bullying people or doing terrible things and has a lot of, okay, even if a person hasn't done terrible things, but if they have a lot of attachments to earth, this is why gurus and spiritual masters say let go of attachment, because attachment is how you stay glued to this earth. And so once you not let go of desire, but the thing about desire is you have to, this is a quote from Alan. Well, I hear Alan Watts say a lot. Is that when you let go of desire, you're actually desiring not to desire. So stop trying to let go of your desires and just do what makes you happy. Do what excites you in life. And just continue doing that, and things will naturally work out for you because you're doing what excites you in life. And so when people say let go of desire, they actually mean let go of attachment, because attachment means that you require this thing in order to make you happy. And so if other things outside of you make you, it's actually coming from within. Like that thing that you think makes you happy, it's actually something within you that's making you happy, but you're externalizing it. And when you pass on, when the person passes on, a part of their soul, a part of their consciousness stays to earth, while it's like the personality, the mind stays on the earth as a ghost, and the spirit moves on into the higher realms and stuff, whatever is on your path. But if you're able to transcend your mind and let go of attachment and just enjoy life, enjoy what you love to do, then when you let go of attachment, when the person passes on, they'll fully, their full soul consciousness will transcend, and they could choose to stay here or come back if they want, but it's all up to them, honestly. And yeah, let's get now. When haunted buildings and haunted places, like haunted houses and dolls and things like that, though it all comes back to what I say when I say attachment, because people can become attached to their house, attached to a certain doll, like Annabelle. And yeah, that's why you hear a lot about haunted places and stuff like that. But in in all honesty, every place is haunted because there are millions of spirits on this earth. And so you're always going to get paranormal activity and everything. Specifically if you invite spirits over. Oh my goodness, why am I sweating? But yeah, what else do I have to say? That was mainly it. It's that how to. Well, I didn't really get into how to let go of attachment. I might share that later if you want my opinion on that. I may talk about it now that I'm thinking about it. I may talk about it later on, but yeah, follow your desires, and if your desires, if a person's desire isn't like good, in my opinion, all desires are good, but it's the form of desires that, like, how you get. Let me see. What's the best word for this? How you achieve that desire is quite. Like, it can be debated, but still. So, what else do I want to say? I feel like this is it for today. Oh yeah, also poltergeists actually, should I talk about that another time? Nah, why not? Let's talk about it. So with poltergeists, it's like, I remember one time where I was 16 years old and I was skipping school a lot, and I was just really in the dark night of the soul kind of place in my life. And I remember I skipped school one day and I actually heard this voice. It was like, it was in my head, but it wasn't in my head at the same time. It was like echoing throughout my environment. And it sounded, I got a very, like, it was very high pitched and scratchy, so it was like a woman's voice, but very high pitched and scratchy. And so it said, I couldn't really understand what it said, but it freaked me out, and it lasted for about maybe 5 seconds, maybe 10. And yeah, after that I didn't skip school for a while because I was afraid to be home alone. And also there was another time where there was this, okay, so I was living in an apartment and there was my bed right here, and there's the door not in front of me but on the side in front of me, and the hallway light was on, so I could see, so if someone was walking down the hallway I could see their shadow like from the wall on the other side. And I'm not joking when I say this, I literally saw like basically like a shape of a devil, or I wouldn't say devil, but it was a very masculine man with horns, and he was walking down the hallway. I could hear the footsteps too, but once it got close, I never seen anything. And so, yeah, that also leads into a lucid dream I had where it wasn't the following night, but I think it was like a few days after that happened. And so what happened was I was asleep on my bed, and I wasn't attempting to astral project on it or anything, but what I did was I I sat up from my bed, and at that point I was fully aware that I was out of my body, because the first thing I saw was a ballerina. You know those ballerina machine things that spin? But this one was big. This one was about like this big, and it was spinning, and there was a few other things in my room that were out of place, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely most likely out of my body now. So what I'm gonna do is just stay calm, stay neutral, and see what happens. And so I was continuing looking at my room, then I saw this miniature shadow figure man walk from the hallway across my room onto like a darker shadow in my room. And so I got curious and walked over to where I saw this miniature man. And literally this man, well, I wouldn't say it's a man because spirit doesn't have gender, you know? So I'm gonna say masculine energy or something. So this being grew, it grew taller, and it grew it had a fedora, kind of like a fedora hat on, and it grew taller, and as it was growing taller, the roof was getting taller, and it grabbed me by my shirt, well, not my shirt, but like kind of my shoulders, and it lifted me up, and it felt like it was about 3 feet or something, but in that moment, I didn't freak out. I just looked at it in its eyes, and in its eyes, I did see dark pupils. It was basically all red with small dark pupils in the middle. And so I looked it in its eye, and I said in my mind, "Let me down." I was kind of angry because I knew this being was ruining my kind of lucid dream experience. Well, that's how I looked at it. But that was a very interesting encounter. And I felt, part of me feels like it was a test too. And so we was against the wall, by the way, so I said to this being, "Let me down," in my mind. And so the being let me down, and that's when I looked over and saw my body, and the being was standing right next to my body. And so this being went out through the wall, and then that's when I woke up, and I was like, that was interesting. And yeah, I wouldn't say that was a demon experience or anything, but I did feel like sinister energy, but what I did was I stayed grounded in my energy. And I didn't allow myself to freak out or anything, even though I could have, but I think part of the reason why I wasn't really freaked out, because I've had a lot of similar experiences in the past where it was like I would watch scary movies and I would experience paranormal activities. Like, I literally saw the Grim Reaper as a kid, but I have a very faint memory of that, so I might think about it more. Hopefully the memory comes back to me, but right now I'm gonna leave it at this, and hopefully some of my stories kind of relate, and let me know if they do. So I'm interested to hear. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and see you in the next video. Later, guys. Oh yeah, make sure to like and subscribe.